And there's, at this point in the year, we know what all these teams are. And you can keep telling me Denver's not good, but this is not figure skating. It's football. I don't need style points. They were great on third down. They dominate time of possession. R.J. Harvey delivers. So is Bo Nix. Basically, Kansas City said, we're not giving you anything over the top. We're going to make it long, slow, boring drives. And that's what they did. Sean Payton knows what he's doing. A lot of guys, a lot of GMs. GMs didn't like Bo Nix. Sean Payton loved him. He's now 23-10 as a pro. Playoffs both years. First quarterback ever, league history ever. 10-plus wins, 30-plus total touchdowns, first 2 years in the league. And he leads the NFL in pass attempts the last 2 years, so they're putting everything on him. No babysitting like early Big Ben. And then there's R.J. Harvey. R.J. Harvey last year, everybody said that's a reach. Hey, he shouldn't be a high draft pick, R.J. Harvey. The dude's got only 4 fewer touchdowns than Christian McCaffrey and 200 fewer touches. He's a tremendous receiver, tremendous young player who gets into the end zone. I think he has like 11 touchdowns. Again, don't worry about the style points. This is at Arrowhead. It is a division rival, and you won by a touchdown. You do understand a touchdown is a big spread. Seattle's a touchdown favorite over Carolina. If they win by a touchdown, are you unimpressed? You go on the road, division rival, you win, you take it. Kansas City said, we're not giving you anything over the top. They didn't. And for the record, in the first game between these two, Bo Nix made a huge 3rd and 15 conversion, game-winning drive. Last night, 3rd and 10, huge conversion, game-winning drive. So you take the touchdown. And here's the other thing, is I don't know if Denver is going to fly through. I mean, they just got whacked by Jacksonville. Maybe Jacksonville is the best team in the AFC, certainly possible. But the last 2 years, in the fourth quarter, the most important quarter in football, Josh Allen leads the NFL in fourth quarter touchdowns. Bo Nix is second. Yeah, I'm going to say it was a good draft pick. I'm going to say R.J. Harvey was also a good draft pick. I mean, Sean Payton, they had 6 Pro Bowlers this week. 4 of them were there when Sean got there. He's just squeezing more juice out of the roster. As far as the Chiefs, maybe it's Travis Kelce's last home game. That's what it sounded like on the broadcast. They've been a bit of a sad trombone all year. As we've told you, dynasties do not fall off a cliff generally. The old guys look old. The old guys get hurt. The young guys can't bring the energy and juice. Kansas City's 1-8 and 1-score games. This is kind of how dynasties end. They're not explosive anymore. But all I hear is, well, I mean, it was that game was close. Yeah, that's the way it works. I mean, would you rather be Detroit? Jared Goff faced a backup and they lost. If you win in this league, Denver's now 13-3 and will play the Chargers next week. Division on the line. Sean Payton's going to have his 5th season, 13 or more wins. I know he drives people nuts. I know he puts his chin out there. But a lot of people, most people, did not think Bo Nix was a first-round quarterback or R.J. Harvey was worth the pick. And here are the Denver Broncos, 13-3. 13-3. I don't know. Works for me. All right, so before the season started, okay, we're going to pat ourselves in the back. J-Mac and I said, every year there's one really exceptional team in the NFL, and the following year, it goes away. It's like season 2 of True Detective, right? You're like, I love this show. And maybe not so much. I don't know. So we both said it would be the Detroit Lions. They lost 2 great coordinators. Offensive guy was brilliant. And I'm listening to Lions fans yesterday. Well, it's our offensive line is all beat up. Yeah, well, so is the Chargers and the Texans. Their O-lines are worse, and they've been worse all season, and they're a combined 21-9. Now, I think Sam Laporta, the minute he left with the O-line injuries, makes it much harder. But in any business, and football's a business, to turn around a sinking ship, you have to self-audit. You have to look in the mirror. This team, Detroit's been lousy on third down all year, even when the O-line was healthy. With Ben Johnson, they were sharp, innovative, and creative. They've tried to recreate that movie. Maybe they picked the wrong director. It doesn't feel sharp and creative. Yes, the offensive line injuries, especially with Sam Laporta, the tight end, out too, it hurts. Yeah, Sam Laporta is great. But Dan Campbell in Week 10 took the play calling duties away from his offensive coordinator. And just a heads up, guys, if your boss ever comes to you and goes, you know, Bob, you're doing a great job, but I'm going to take over your sales accounts, start looking for work. It's not just the offensive line. Detroit was a crisp operation, more creative and innovative. Dan Campbell had to take over the OC duties. He didn't want to do that. He is not a scheme guy. He's a great culture builder, and he lost a brilliant scheme guy, Ben Johnson. This is very reminiscent of Kyle Shanahan getting the Niners as the OC to the Super Bowl and Matt Ryan an MVP. Kyle Shanahan left. You want to know what the Atlanta Falcons record is since Kyle Shanahan left? 63-84. It's not the Falcons' O-line injuries. Okay, you can make all the excuses. Find me an offensive line in this league, in the entire league. Find me an offensive line that is healthy for 17, 18 weeks. I mean, it's man overboard with the Chargers. Texans' O-line's been a mess for 2 years. They're humming. One's doing it with defense. One's doing it with coaching and quarterback play. You just got to find a way when your O-line's beat up. Again, I think Sam Laporta is a big loss. But if you look at Dan Campbell, put it on the screen, with offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, he's 36-15. 36-15. If you look at Dan Campbell without Ben Johnson, 11-21-1, a touchdown less. So I would argue the Lions peaked in week 2 when they beat very good Chicago, but Chicago is much better today than they were in week 2. They beat on bad teams. The Lions have beat up on bad teams. They haven't really beaten good teams. Sometimes, like the Rams, they get close, but they're just not as crisp. They're just not as innovative. I mean, and again, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm saying when you lose Kyle Shanahan as OC, Matt Ryan didn't look the same. When you lose Ben Johnson, you don't look the same. Good news, very good front office, draft well, you get that great safety back, Laporta back. I mean, it's not all doom and gloom. I mean, you've really got an infrastructure, a culture creator, but when you have the culture creators, they are very and much more reliant on offensive coordinators. Vrabel is a great culture builder. First thing he did, get Josh McDaniels, get the great OC, the scheme guy, and it works. So, yeah, the O-line stuff, it's not perfect. Laporta's a huge loss, but there's bad O-lines all over this league. I mean, the Chargers is the worst, 32nd for most of the year. Texans is bad. They're going to make the playoffs again.